All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, how's everybody doing out there? Philadelphia's own Meek Mill, who's currently out on bail. He says he's still worried about going back to jail. All right, I told you guys earlier in the week that Meek Mill's latest attempt to get his adversary, Judge Janice Brinkley, off his case failed. He now has to go through proper regulations and protocol through the Superior Court. Supreme Court said no. Meek Mill did an interview with Philly, and he spoke on his freedom and going back to jail potentially. He said, I always worry about that every day, and I don't like living like that. Being somebody who pays a lot of taxes, somebody who employs people, who takes care of their family, and why me? Why do I have to be the person caught up in the middle of this? He went on to say, I was talking to my friend the other day, and he was like, you can't ride dirt bikes forever? Because we've been doing that since we was like 5 years old, and it was like a real question mark, like it equivalent to I can't have sex forever, basically. It's the same thing, the same level. When I get off probation, it's going back to riding bikes, all right? That's part of why Meek Mill is in the trouble that he's in, is because in New York, he was riding them dirt bikes, and they claim pretty much he was stopping traffic and kind of intruding in space. Meek went on to say, I feel like this makes me a bigger target, pretty much just being a high profile rapper. He said, my whole goal is just to not commit crimes and not go to jail. I don't want to be looked at like a perfect person. I want to change the world, make a lot of money, feed my family, and change the way my bloodline was raised. Because my bloodline was raised in poverty, people dropping out of school, nobody really going to college, nobody owning their house. I want to change that. Because that's not what life is all about. And I've seen the other side of that. I want to work on criminal justice reform and to be a father to my son, but not to be perfect. Right now, I have to move perfectly because if I make a mistake, everybody's going to move against me. He made a mistake, send him back to jail. And that's part of the interview that I wanted to share with you guys. Two things here, a little commentary. I do believe Meek Mill is one of the chosen ones who could really make some impact, not just in rap, just in society, because for some reason he's always had the juice, he's always had the sauce, he's always had an influence on the youth. And not only do the youth, but a lot of his peers in the rap world look up to him. So if this could be like a trickle down effect in which everybody's got popping rappers in their city that they look up to, and the rappers look up to Meek, and Meek is leading the rappers in the right direction, we could kind of trickle this down into our hoods, and this, we could use our influence. That's why they call people influencers nowadays. I also want to say this, though I am 100% behind Meek, I don't think he should have been locked back up for that probation violation, or at least he deserves to be out while they settle things out. I will say this, Meek, sometimes I think he forgets, at the age of 18, he did make a mistake. And sometimes you can make a mistake early in your life that can follow you for the rest of your life. That doesn't mean it go away. Now, I don't agree with the 10-year probation sentence that Meek had by any means. I don't think you should give anybody that long of a probation sentence or like 5 or 6 years probation. At that point, I think you just need to make them do some time. I know that sounds crazy, but when you do that long of a probation, it's pretty much, he can't have police interaction right now. And I just think him being in the position that he is in, police are around rappers, right? Like police are around where rappers are at, because with rappers comes a lot of chaos sometimes. And to say that he can't have police interaction and that can send him back to jail, I think that's a bit much. And I don't like the fact that they're throwing out these heavy years of probation. So I believe Meek should be out, but I do want Meek to understand that though it was a long time ago, you made a mistake and you've compounded that one mistake with probation violation, failed drug tests, and all that. So there needs to be a little bit more accountability. We've seen Meek have some of that accountability sometimes, but then again, I think other times he forgets to tell that side of the story where, again, Meek made a mistake at the age of 18. And I don't know what happened after that. Was he beat up? I have no idea. He claims he was beat up by police. If that happened, that's ridiculous and that's bullshit. But I do want to make it known that Meek made a mistake when he was 18. He wasn't perfect then. He say he ain't perfect now, but he made a mistake then, and that has compounded other stuff. It's not like Meek was just picked on because he was an innocent man. This started with something wrong that he did to someone else, and over the years, he's never been able to gain his innocence. But good luck to Meek Mill in his situation. I wish nothing but the best for Philadelphia Zone. Thank y'all for the time, love, and support. I don't take it for granted. Again, this interview is with the Philly. You can head to their website if you want the full thing. I'm out. What up, Ferros? I decided to step my game up again. I've created a music reaction Instagram page. That way, you guys can be up to date on some of the latest new music in the atmosphere, and you guys can also send me some of your music as well, and you will get Mr. TALIAFERRO'S first reaction to your record, for good or for bad, or an artist that we talk about on my platform's music, for good or for bad. Again, follow me on Instagram, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV. Again, that's Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, and you get more of yours truly.